Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, back with another video for you today. And today I'm going to be featuring the Tier 10 Premium French Destroyer, the Marceau, if I pronounced that one right. It'd be nice if there was a book or something Wargaming could do that would help how to pronounce the names of certain ships correctly. Now, in starting off this video, I do need to say I just bought this ship last week with the resource coupon set. I've played 2 co-op battles in this ship, and then this is my 3rd battle in the ship. This is my first battle in actual playing against human players, being in grand battle domination mode here on Greece. I quite like my experience so far with the French destroyers. The highest other French destroyer that I have is the Tier 6 Premium, is it the Agile? Not sure. And I've always liked it. I've liked the AP. I've liked the speed. So today we're in the Marceau. So let's talk about this ship. Well, you get a really nice speed boost. As you can see, I think our top speed with the Sierra mic, I think is 54.9. And so I decided to use that right at the start in diving this cap. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the Grand Battle, Grand Battle is the big thing Wargaming's been pushing, where they have these 2 super-sized battleships, the tier, well, I don't know if they're necessarily tier, but it'd be like a tier 11 or something like that. Hanover, a German battleship, and then the Satsuma, the Japanese battleship. So, in being with this type of battle, there's only 9 players on each team, and so it's kind of reminds you maybe somewhat of, well, I don't know, I can't actually even say ranked. It's more just like randoms 2.0. Like, that's just the overall experience that you get with the players. I tend to find that the captains of the super battleships are not always they don't always impress me, if that's how I can put that lightly. As I find often they make questionable choices, but I think you can only get max of 3 in a battle. So we start off here, we detect the Shimakaze. He's going to be a pain in our side throughout the battle. And utilizing my speed and the decent rudder shift time of the Marceau, we're able to kind of maneuver and get out of the way quickly and take little damage. Now, this is a 10-point commander I'm running. I'm running the what I refer to as the bread and butter build for a 10-point commander on a destroyer, being preventive maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, and concealment expert. So, yeah, so let's talk about the Marceau a bit more. So she's got these nice 3.1 second, if you do not go, well, that's with the 6 slot upgrade. But she's got 4 turrets, 2 guns per turret, with that 3.1 second reload for what I have. And really nice torpedoes as well, that I believe go 9 kilometers. Now, I can already tell you that I know what I want if I had a 21-point commander. 2 of those actually I think would have made a difference in this battle. The 3 other commanders' skills I want to take is Adrenaline Rush, and then what used to be Advanced Fire Training, now it's called something else, and Radio Location, so like RPF. Because your concealment, as I have it right now, is 7 kilometers, and it's nice to have the RPF, and it helps you know where there's destroyers at. So like this Shimakaze, that was at, let's see, that's on G2, last detected. He's gone now, and I'm thinking he's running up the 1 line right now, so just being able to have RPF later on to deal with him, after we deal with this Fletcher, would have been nice. Now, with this Fletcher here, I'm just detecting him, hard proximity detecting him, and our Yugumo is actually able to get some shots in on him, even though the Fletcher decided to smoke up, which isn't going to help him. So I've noticed that the Fletcher doesn't seem to be too confident as a destroyer player, so I'm going to mess with him throughout our interaction here. The Marceau also has defensive AA, 6 kilometer range. The AA is nothing to write home about, especially when it comes to the continuous damage. The damage by shell explosions is more notable. But you'll find yourself maybe mostly having AA off until you feel like you need to pop it. So here's one of the super battleships. This is the Hanover. They do have hydroacoustic search. He's already used his, or just not running his, I'm not sure. But I would think that this move would be kind of obvious of what I'm up to. So we reverse, and then we pop the engine boost, accelerate back forward if he was going to be reload. And we're going to land all 5 of those torps, since one of those hit the island. And get 2 floodings. So it looks like he's damage repaired that. And I'm trying to see which way he's going. Is he going to just keep rushing around the island? We'll dump the next set. But it seems like he's turning out and away and circling back around. So it's going to draw our attention back to the Fletcher here in just a moment. I just really like this ship. It's really nice. So I've decided I'm going to mess with him a bit more. So I'm going to reverse since he's kind of coming around the edge. I actually want to see, because I get the feeling that he's just not as confident as a shore player. I've been feeling him out this whole time. And so I want to see if I can bait him. So I'm going to reverse here towards the edge and see if he's going to feel like, oh, he's going to reverse out and then try to dump torpedoes off me. But with my engine boost going and whatnot, I'm going to be able to easily avoid those. So I see the Shimikazes back behind us, dumping torpedoes, until I feel like the Fletcher's going to make a move. Dump some shells here on the Hanover. And paying attention to torpedoes, and he's going to keep backing up. So I'm going to switch to the armor piercing. Let's get a salvo there. Waiting for the torpedoes. There's the torpedoes. And 3 of those are going to hit the island. The other 2 are going to miss. Switch back to the HE. And he's dead. So we've taken care of that. Let's switch back to the Hanover. The secondaries, I would say, of the Hanovers they're quite decent. I can see I'm just getting chunked with damage here from the secondaries this close. And I'm going to switch to armor piercing on the very front bow. I'm trying to keep myself out of the secondaries firing range, kind of tucking in behind this island here, because my goal is to mitigate as less damage and killing him, as I get a little kill hop there. That is a bug in the game. If you destroy a ship that's kind of grounded, they hop like that. It's rather amusing. So we've killed 2 enemy ships and up to almost 100,000 damage. And we are now finally able to take the Alpha Cap. I was feeling pretty good about what happened here, and I looked at the map, and I see that we've completely lost our control of C, and we're about to lose the B cap. So here RPF would be nice. It would tell me where that other enemy Shimikaze is at. I know he's somewhere back behind us. I've got the engine boost going, so it means I can cover a lot of distance, but it's about to go off cooldown. And I'm looking to see with the direction of those torpedoes where they're coming from, which tells me when he did fire them, he was somewhere in between these 2 islands here. But he's gone all the way back. So because he's so far back, I can't really waste time chasing him. I know at some point he's probably going to move down towards Alpha Cap and retake it. But I feel like at this point I need to keep my attention down here. And we're going to go see what we can do about Bravo Cap and see if we can kind of assist our teammates that are back behind Bravo Cap. So we have this other Shimikaze player. He's smoking up. He's moving forward. I'm expecting him to stop, but he's actually going to go all the way up to the island. And so I'm going to... anything I can do to chip his damage now is going to help me later on. And we lose 2 battleships both at the same time. So we're now in a very terrible situation where it's now 3 versus 6. And our Holland is getting chunked as he's losing damage. Ooh, yeah. He's not doing too well. So is it the enemy? Let's see. I'm trying to see what is it. Yeah, Conqueror. I believe he said on fire. Yeah, he died from fire from the Holland. So that's helped us somewhat point-wise, but we don't have a lot of breathing room. Now, the fact that the Shimakaze has smoked up means that I can dive in on him more easily. Now, you did notice I moved towards these islands, and now I'm diving around. And as we lose our Yamato, now 2 versus 5. When you're in the French destroyers, because of their concealment is not the best, and I'm dealing with one of the best tier 10 concealment destroyers, you want to use islands to your advantage to poke in. But because we have the smoke screen here, it makes my job a little bit easier. And again, RPF would be nice in this situation. So I will be doing a upgrade and commander build video on the Marceau tomorrow. Yeah. So we're going to push through the smoke screen. We're going to see... I thought I was going to die here, and you'll see why in just a moment. But he's sitting broadside to us, and I'm totally expecting torpedoes. So now it's time to kind of cut the throttle, turn in. But because you go so fast, you drift. So I'm expecting to die. I'm not even trying to dodge these torpedoes. And we take no torpedoes. So quite nice. And we're dead. Or he's dead. Now we have this Seattle here. He needs to go. He was firing at us. Now he's firing back at the Holland. Our Holland needs to live. And so this is going to be a kill still when we did just only 66 damage. And from a 2 versus 5, now we're to a 2 versus 3. So now my goal is to cap here. And now I see that A is being contested. The Shimakaze has moved back south, and now he's taking the cap. So my goal is to rotate over that direction and deal with him. Now our Holland's not going to be able to do much because with the Musashi, he's got more of those anemic torpedoes. And I don't remember, I think he already said in chat, but he only has one set of torpedo tubes working. And we have the other enemy battleship, which is somewhere over moving towards Alpha. You can see on the mini map, you can see a spotter plane flying around. So because of that, I'm not just going to dive straight towards Alpha. I'm going to move between these islands. Again, I'm going to use these islands to my advantage as a destroyer player because I don't want to go within the detectability range of the enemy Hanover. But instead, see if I can close in a distance and find out maybe where that Shimakaze player is at. So I have to slow down a little bit, get a turning circle turned in. Maybe I'll be able to dump some torpedoes off here. And there he is, but our torpedoes are not off cooldown yet on this side. You get 4 sets of 3, 2 on each side. So that means you can really utilize that to your advantage, and you're going to see how we get to utilize that here in a minute or so. Now I do get detected, but I'm outside the Hanover's detectability range because I'm 7 kilometers, which tells me the Shimakaze has moved up in that area. So now I know the Shimakaze is moving towards Bravo. Or he's in that area at least. I don't know if he's moving towards Bravo, he's just out in that open area. So our torpedoes have come off cooldown, so I'm going to move out and I'm going to dump both of them. And now basically just going to have to get in a gunfight. And there's the Shimakaze. You can see with our speed, we cover a lot of distance relatively quickly. Try to get some damage there and on the Shimakaze. It took a tiny bit of damage there. But with the Shimakaze diving behind the island, it means we're going to have to be dealing with the Hanover. So basically now my goal is to avoid the fire. And you can even see we have secondaries coming in, I think from the, I don't know. No, I guess the secondaries are just really spread out when they fire from the Hanover. But we dump our other 2 sets on our starboard side. So I'm basically working to set fires right now across the ship. I'm paying attention to when he's firing his guns, and then when he does, I can maneuver. And the Shimakaze looked like he was firing at me from behind the island. So now I'm just drawing the distance. The Marceau works really well to open gunboat in the water, the more distance you have between you and the target. Now, with the gun range I have now on the Marceau, with the 10-point commander, we have 11.5. Now, I dumped those torpedoes even though the Hanover was moving towards Bravo, because I figured with my health pool being low, he would slow down, stop to try to get some more damage in on me. So you can kind of see in chat the saying predictable, because I expected him to do that. If he would have kept moving behind the island, none of those torpedoes would have hit, but I predicted that he was going to slow down and stop. So we're able to get the kill there. Now, in grand battles, you don't get achievements, so that's kind of sad. The standard achievements. You do get these other, I think there's 3 other types of achievements you can get in grand battle mode. My comment earlier that it feels like grand battles is just randoms 2.0. You can see at this point, we've killed 5 of 9 enemy ships so far, and we're still losing. We've done 2 solo caps already. I've been focusing on what I believe to playing the objectives, to caps, and then trying to take out enemy destroyers when I have the opportunity to. And we've taken out 2 enemy destroyers already, and what the other 3 have they been? Battleships? No, cruiser. We had the Seattle. So 2 battleships, a cruiser, and 2 destroyers we've killed so far. So now I know the Shimakaze player has moved to Bravo cap. So I know he's in that area so far. Encouraging the Holland to not get detected, because I see a lot of players do that in this type of situation. They get too close to enemy battleship, even though that they have the concealment advantage, and die because they just dove in too close and there's no need to. So we were actually ahead on the score timer to win, but since the enemy Shimakaze moved into Bravo and is flipping it, and the Musashi is contesting Charlie, this means that the pressure is on us. The enemy team has the advantage right now with the points, so it basically means I still have to make plays. Ideally, it'd be nice to have more health at this point, but we're not going to. Now, coming up here, you're going to see again why RPF would have been helpful in addition to Adrenaline Rush. As you lose health, your guns reload even faster, and the commander I have has the enhanced Adrenaline Rush skill, so that means my guns would be firing even faster, shortened reload time, and also a shorter reload time on the torpedoes. The French destroyers also have a bit beefier armor than most destroyers do. It's kind of magical. Just they're more noted for that. Or even if, like in this situation, you're going to see me go up against enemy Shimakaze, who has over half health. I have like a less than a third, and you're going to be able to see how I do relatively well in out trading him damage. Granted, his guns reload 6 seconds, mine do 3.1 seconds, but he has those hard-hitting HE Japanese shells. So Shimakaze is no slouch when it does hit you with his guns. So you're going to see how the Shimakaze player utilizes that to his advantage. Because he out-detects me, he's going to get all of his guns into position. 2 of them are on the rear, and then he's going to shift back into more angled at me. So I take a nice little salvo there. And now my goal is to at least take him with me. Realistically, in order to win, I need to be able to survive this engagement. But I burned a damage control party, and Adrenaline Rush would have killed him just before he got that last salvo off. But because I used my damage control party to survive not taking fire damage, I wasn't able to put that. I would have been able to put that last fire out anyways. So yeah. So this is grand battles. There's been some players in my Discord who've kind of talked about that. It feels grand battles is a bit more toxic, and it can even sometimes be harder to. It's harder to carry, as one can say. So even with almost 200,000 damage out of 6 out of 9 enemy players is quite notable in that regard. And also that this is my first battle against human players in this French destroyer. So for me, it feels right at home. It feels comfortable. Yeah, I really enjoy the Marceau. So basically time's going to run out here, and going to joke here in chat in a moment. You know, maybe we'll HE shell detonation from the Holland on the Musashi. Not that that would be possible. So yeah, compliments to the Holland. He played it well. If you saw earlier, he actually reset the Musashi when he was taking C, so kind of prolonging the game a bit longer. So that's always really good, even though the Holland doesn't have smoke screens. So this is going to be game. And we're going to gather, you get 3 intelligence data. Every battle you play regardless. Yeah, intelligence reports. And that's going to take us to the post-battle results. So we did 192,000 damage, 319 shell hits, 9 torpedoes, 6 destroyed, 5 set on fires, 3 floodings, 3 solo caps, almost 7,000 experience, 438 free experience with 759,000 credits. Yeah, so quite nice. Now, when we go to team score, you're going to see my base XP is actually better than the top player of the enemy team. We got 2,069, where the top player of the enemy team, the Shimikaze player, did 2,022. So it's kind of amusing. It's not a regular thing to get over 2,000 base XP on a loss. So kind of proud of myself for that. I had a really fun time playing this game. Naturally, a win would have been nice, but it was a fun game. You can see our potential damage is rather notable, over 1 million. You can see the damage layout here. I'm definitely working on those enemy destroyers, and that Seattle was definitely a kill steal, but I wanted my Holland to live, so chimed in there to take him out. You can see with premium account how we ended with 17,000 credits in total, and some of the commander flags I had mounted to get a little bit more commander experience. So now we have 11-point commander. So I hoped you liked this battle. A taste of what it's like in grand battles. You know, you'd think a battle like this would secure the win for your team, playing the objectives, taking out the enemy destroyers, and taking out a couple battleships, and even an enemy cruiser along the way. But grand battles, it's interesting. So do some exercising to help strengthen your back. If you plan to win in grand battles, because you will probably find yourself carrying a lot from time to time. So like I said, I will be doing a upgraded commander build video tomorrow on the Marceau. Traditionally, I like to play more battles in a ship when I get a new ship before giving my thoughts and recommendations when it comes to the upgrades and commander skills. But really, I've watched the Marceau being played in the King of the Sea tournament, and a little bit of experience with French destroyers, not much. But I feel like I know what I want and what I need to make the Marceau more effective, between having the radio location, adrenaline rush, and then what used to be called advanced fire training. Now it's called something else. I don't remember what Wargaming changed it to since the commander we worked with 0.10.0. So I'll share my thoughts on that with you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll find some good suggestions there in the video tomorrow. So if you enjoyed today's battle, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you haven't subscribed, thanks so much. As always, feel free to enjoy and joining the FLT Discord community. Invite link in the description below. So until next time, take care.